Hi everybody, welcome back to Starfield Raw. This is episode number 54, and man, do we have an episode for you guys tonight. We've got a lot of exciting things, like we predicted about Gamescom. It's here, and we got some stuff to get into. But first, let me introduce my fellow co-hosts, because these guys are the stars of the show, starting with, he's back, Archon.
Oh, I get to go first? Hey, what's up, guys? I'm back, and I'm playing the game again, and so far I'm loving it. All this new stuff that I haven't experienced yet.
See, I'm pretty certain that everyone's excited to hear about your play.
Oh, dude. Well, I don't have a ton yet, but I have some.
And we're joined by the man himself, Kilo.
Kilo, the man, the star of the show. I mean, that's what Joe said, and I'm just going to run with it.
Hey, I'm the producer.
Heck yeah.
You guys are the talent, so let's just go with it.
Talent. Take it. I'll take talent. I was very talented at having a really messed up gameplay this week, so I can't wait to get into that.
I've been purposely avoiding, like I said off the air, that I've been purposely avoiding reading any of your notes because I'm very curious. I knew. I saw your first line, and I knew right away that was going to be a part of it.
Yeah.
So the big thing, guys and gents and ladies, is that they gave us the official Starfield Shattered Space expansion release date.
And guess what?
Indeed.
I was almost spot on. September 30th.
You won the poll?
I don't know. Was there a poll?
Well, we had a little competition going on.
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that.
You weren't in that. I
think but our local Danny...
Yeah.
Our local Danny Carr and Elizabeth was supposed to be keeping track of that. Did not. We couldn't figure out what we said.
See, I don't. All I know is that I've said multiple times that it's going to come out right around the 1-year anniversary of the game, and it's pretty darn close.
Yeah, pretty close.
I predicted a little bit too early. I thought it was going to be more like the beginning of September, end of August. Well, thanks, Bethesda. I lost that one, but I did make an accurate prediction on the last episode saying they are going to give us the official release date, and I told them we're going to get the big update with the vehicle the first day of Gamescom. Yep. I nailed it. Every bit of it. I nailed it.
Well, and of course, Bethesda did the typical thing that Bethesda likes to do, and they say, "Oh yeah, we're going to release a vehicle," then says nothing about it again for months and months, and then just says, "Oh hey guys, guess what? Here it is today."
Yep.
There's never any lead up or warning. It's always just, today.
No, they're just going to drop it on you.
I predicted it,
and I did get a bit of a chuckle because I remember Wigit talking about how the vehicles are going to be a prelude, like one of the preludes to Shattered Space. And sure enough, at the end of the new Shattered Space trailer that was at the end of that reveal, you see the Shattered Space logo and the planet, and you see the Rev-8 sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, being in that industry for many years myself, I learned a lot of their tricks.
Heck yeah. I am not disappointed.
No.
Yeah.
So we got the Rev-8. Now, the only thing I was disappointed about was that there was not much more than the Rev-8 that came out. No additional quests or anything like that. However, they did drop a new, I'm going to call it mini DLC that you can pay for, called Escape. And I'm going to get into that later on in the show after I play because I have a lot to talk about. I'm not going to spoil anything because there's a lot that can be spoiled in that DLC. I'll give my official rundown of that later on. Kilo's got his mod he's going to talk about.
Yep.
But let's talk about the Rev-8 really quick. So it's going to be in our gameplay.
Yeah.
All three of us jumped in on that thing. And the first thing I noticed when I was doing a temple run, and the temple put me on the other side of the temple and to run all the way around and get back to my Rev, was they need a way for you to summon it back to you.
Oh, come on. You can run around a temple to get back to it. At least we have it.
The time it took me to run around that temple to get to it, I could have ran to my ship in just the same time.
Or you could just teleport back to your ship. Just teleport back to your ship, and then you don't need
Superman
it at all.
Dash always works. It's fun.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. But I was having a lot of fun with this vehicle on the low gravity.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Got to take it to a low-gravity planet.
The fact that you could just make it fly around is kind of...
Yeah, the underbelly boosters, I figured that out. I was like, how do you do that? And it had finally just space. It made total sense.
I haven't got to play with it a whole lot yet, because I just unlocked it like an hour before the show. But, yeah, it's fun.
Speaking of which, when you go to unlock it, they give you a whole new menu at the ship vendor.
Yeah.
They clearly are setting this up to add more vehicles to the game. It's super obvious.
Yes, obviously.
Because there's even when you go back and talk to him, say you want to view your vehicles. He says it in the plural.
Yeah, he says vehicles.
Yep.
So it's clearly we're gonna get more, and I'm still holding out for my mech.
Let's see how much you know me. What's the first thing I did when I got my vehicle, Joe?
You jumped.
Nope. I didn't even get in it.
You didn't get. Oh, you colored it.
Yep, I had to recolor the whole thing.
Yeah, I did too.
I had to customize it. I had to customize it just to me before I could even get in it. I wouldn't even get in it until
it matches my ship.
Yep.
It matches the colors of my
mine
ship.
will eventually once I build my ship, but
I was off that day sick. You can hear it in my voice a little bit. I'm still recovering, but I was off of work sick that day, so I jumped into it as soon as they released it. I was downloading it and had to post the first picture on our Discord with the Rev.
Yeah. Awesome.
I unfortunately was at work when it came out, so I saw it and I was like, I want to get home.
See, I forgot that, Germany's in a completely different time zone. So I know that they started on Wednesday, but I forgot that happened to be Tuesday afternoon for us.
Yeah, their Wednesday is not our Wednesday.
There's one thing I gotta, because I keep seeing all around social media, a lot of people are confused about the Rev-8. You have to go to the ship tech vendor, and then you go in there, you have to spend 25,000 credits, you get the Rev-8. That's it. I spent probably about 20 minutes when I first booted it up after the update, looking for a vehicle module to put on my ship. No, it just, all you have to do is buy it every time you land.
I read the first line that said, go to the ship vendor.
Yeah.
I booked it straight to him.
All right, sold us. That's all I need to know.
Yeah, see, I went straight to the ship vendor, and then I clicked on it, and then it said it cost 25,000. And since I just started the character, I'm like,
well,
gotta go make 25,000. I gotta go
find. There's a mod for that.
Yeah. There's a
little command line you could put in that says, "Here, I want 3 million."
That too. Well, for us lowly Xbox players like myself.
Oh yeah, you don't have that option.
Yeah, isn't there like okay? So this is kind of getting into my gameplay a little bit, but whatever.
Oh, whatever.
Nah, go for it.
So I noticed that when I logged into the game that I hadn't logged into the game since April 2nd. So all the cool new stuff I haven't been here for. So the very first thing I noticed was the little mod store, if you want to call it that. And I didn't even get into Starfield for probably about an hour once I put it up, because I was just sitting there going through all the different mods and reading.
Why did I just forget the name of the mod store?
Creations?
Thank you, Creations.
Yeah, I was in Creations for about an hour, just going through every mod, reading them all, seeing all what they did. Are they the same on Xbox as they are on PC? Is it the same mods?
Yeah,
through the Creations store, yes.
Oh, nice. Because I saw the one. It was probably the one you're talking about, where you can add like the infinite chests and stuff in your basement.
There's about a half a dozen to a dozen different mods that'll get you free money.
Yeah, there's one in the where like you add these chests in the mod or in the lodge, where like it makes it to where everything in them just is infinite, and like including money and stuff.
Yeah,
Kilo's
that
really
really
resident
mod. I
mod.
ended up getting rid of it.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I ended up getting rid of that one because something I added didn't jive with it, and it stopped replicating.
Oh, well, that sucks.
Yeah, Kilo's our resident mod expert. So if you guys have questions, go in Discord and ask him.
See, the greatest about coming back to the game after so long, and there being all these mods now, is I've already beaten the snot out of this game, so I don't mind using whatever mods are going to make this game more fun for me.
Hey,
I have not turned that particular one on yet, but there was one in particular. I mean, if you've listened to the show, you've heard Joe slip enough that my name is Derek. So there's a mod where you can get a robot named Derek, and I'm like, hey, that sounds fun. I want to have a robot running around named Derek.
And I was telling you, man, there's a lot of our listeners have been really enjoying that, and that pet robot dog's another big one.
Yeah, Robo Dog Meat.
Yeah, dog meat.
Yes, there's Robo Dog Meat, but it's spelled out in leet speak.
And the cool thing about him is he doesn't count as a companion slot, so he's in.
So you can have him and Derek.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, this is happening. Oh, I'm going. See, I didn't spend enough time in Creations apparently because I missed some. I need to go back and
you need to get the one for the mission for
or Tracker Alliance.
The Tracker Alliance, the Vulture. That one's a must.
Mm-hmm.
The other one I'm gonna talk about later on is a must.
That one costs money though. Those ones cost money.
You got 10,000?
I got 1,000.
I mean, you got 1,000 to go with.
So I can get one of them, but I'm probably going to get at least. I'll probably get them all. You know me.
They're worth it.
Eventually, I'll get them.
I always give myself the excuse I'm doing it for the show.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna drop another $10 in there. Another 10 here.
It's for the show. It's
an investment.
Yeah, it's an investment for the show. But I did notice like that there's a limit to how many you can put on.
Yeah,
Because down at the bottom it says there's a storage.
A huge limit.
It's a lot.
It's a huge limit.
It's pretty big, but eventually that could get filled up. And my biggest gripe, I guess, with Creations is how has Creations been out this long and nobody's added a multiplayer mod yet?
They've been working on it. I actually did a little reading. The developers who did the one for Skyrim have been working on one, but the way that Starfield is built makes it a lot more difficult to find ways around certain things that can only be done single.
That's fair.
So it's being worked on from what I still understand, but there's a lot of issues with it right now.
Yeah.
Or make like a multiplayer PvP arena. That would be fun. Basically like a Destiny arena where you could just go in and just PvP.
You gotta set up a way for host computer, and that's simple enough to do. It's just a matter of getting certain things to not be finicky, like quests.
Mm-hmm.
And that can be problematic.
I'd like to see a ship-to-ship combat.
Yeah, like
PvP.
that sport we talked about. That we didn't know existed.
Yes. CEC or CSE, something like that.
Something like that. I'm bad with that stuff.
You could do lots with multiplayer in this game.
So speaking of mods, though, the Rev-8 immediately they released a ton of mods out there for it. Basically reskinning it, adding storage space, and there's one for a ship to put it in your ship. But that one's not for Creations though. So
yeah, those are not on Creations yet. There's one that turns up all the stats. It's called the Rev-9. There's another one that adds cargo capacity. You got a couple different versions there. You got another one where you can tune it yourself, and that's pretty much it now. We're expecting a lot of different cosmetic mods to come over, like an 80s style van. I think I saw a Jeep Wrangler in there, and
the Warthog.
Nice.
The Warthog.
I want a motorcycle. Turn it into a motorcycle.
I think I'm still convinced we're gonna get one. Because a dirt bike going through these planets, something like a dirt bike would be incredible. Having Andreja on back with me, just going nuts. Yeah.
I want Cloud's bike. I want Cloud's bike in a mod when the bike comes out.
Star Wars Speeder.
Speeder.
That'd be a good one too.
Speeder.
They just released I just saw it today. Luke's hover car is now a mod.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yep.
That could be fun.
Well, we got vehicles in the game, and they work very well. I was really impressed, and they stick to the gravity. So I went to a planet that was like 1.1 gravity, and the traction was no problem. It was slower than normal, but traction was great. My first one was a planet that had 0.1 gravity, and I couldn't get traction to save my life. I was skidding around like Tokyo Drift constantly.
Nice.
Hit one little boost, you're going 100 feet in the air.
I've only driven it in New Atlantis and on Mars so far.
You drove it in New Atlantis?
Yeah, you could drive it in New Atlantis. I was driving it all. That's where I learned how to drive it. I was just whipping I
saw somebody. Was it on our Discord? Somebody posted a load screen.
Yes.
That said, the authorities frown upon driving in the city or something like that.
Yeah, Sarah disapproves.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, Sarah disapproves. Yeah.
Sarah was in the passenger seat and she was having a blast. So.
I got a great video I haven't posted anywhere yet. Is taking the Rev-8, and I just happened to hit this. I did a big jump. I hit the ground just right. She went deep on the passenger side, and I just whipped her around. The controls they remind me a little bit of the Mako from Mass Effect, but it's so much smoother. I'm finding it smoother anyways.
It was a bit tricky on Mars because of how rocky the planet is. I kept hitting the rocks and it would throw me off in all these different directions, so I was kind of having to hover boost over the rocks. But I was getting it down. There's a learning curve on some planets for sure.
Yeah, I did a little bit. End over end tumble, and I think Andreja said, well, that was fun. I was dying. It was something like that.
I dropped off of a huge jump and hit the ground, and she said something like, oh, not exactly the softest landing.
That's awesome that they added actual chat.
Actual voice lines, yeah.
Did you guys do it in first person yet?
No.
You can drive the vehicle in first person. It's actually pretty dang fun.
That's amazing.
I've only done it Halo vehicle style.
Yeah, I recommend it. It's crazy.
Okay.
You can look over, and there's my Andreja right there, and I'm just booking it.
Aw.
Aw, you got your boo with you.
I got my boo. All right, let's get into our gameplay since we're at it. And Archon, you get to go first.
He's already kicked off. Yeah.
Yeah, there's not much. As you guys know, I've already been talking about it on the other show on Raw and Nerdy, but I've been having an issue with the Xbox app. I couldn't get into my Xbox app at all. It would start loading and then just give me an error and close out. I guess from what I was seeing online, a lot of people were having that issue, and then Nvidia came out with a patch for a graphics card driver update, and then after that, it worked fine. But that wasn't until, what was it, Monday or Tuesday that they did that. So I didn't get a whole lot of time between work and stuff, but I did start a brand new character.
We need the deets.
Oh, do tell.
I made him enlightened. I think I did adoring fan this time because I've never done it before. And then what was the other one? I knew I should have wrote these down.
Yeah, we were gonna ask.
the one Space Adept, I think it is the third one I chose. Yeah,
Okay.
Space Adept.
What was
I
your
added
main?
a couple. Space Scoundrel? Is that what it was? I think it's Space Scoundrel.
I don't know why you're looking at us. We don't know.
No.
Is that one Space Scoundrel? Does that sound right?
There is
I think that's what it
one
was called.
that is like that.
Yeah, I think that's what it was called, Space Scoundrel. I started with
I made my pirate that.
yeah, I started with a boost to pistols, piloting, and persuasion was what it gave me the boost to. And
Nice.
I pumped it up. Like,
What'd you think about all the new settings you could do for the game?
I'm currently sitting at 75% bonus
Oh,
experience.
geez, you went all out.
Oh, wow.
It's boosted. I said I pumped it up. I made it I made it to New Atlantis so far, so I'm not doing too bad.
It's a whole new game for you now, buddy.
I made it.
really
I made
is.
it. The most impressive part was I made it through the space combat, which, if you remember, I'm not the greatest at the space combat part, even though I can beat the simulator just fine. But I made it through the space combat, and yeah, I got to that first boss. Thankfully, I got the persuasion check and got it, so I haven't had to fight a boss yet. I did run in
very interesting and extreme.
I did run into the Terramorph that escapes that little facility, and he mopped the floor with me, so I had to reload and go back through. So we'll see. This is going to be quite interesting. I may have to pick up a few more mods.
I'm level 100.
You checked out the surface map?
Huh?
Yeah, the surface map.
Have you checked out the surface maps of New Atlantis?
No.
Go into your scanner, and there's an
Oh
option to
yeah,
do
I
surface map.
remember that. Oh, I remember that. No, I haven't.
Yeah. Yep.
That got added after I stopped playing. So.
And there's even now with your scanner, you
Pretty
can
cool.
look at people and see if they're wanted or not.
Oh,
and you
really?
can take them in for trackers. Yeah.
Yeah,
they're
I
red,
did
you can
notice
take 'em
that
in.
I noticed as I was going through that first the facility on can't remember the name of the planet. Great. When I was going through the facility to get to that first boss,
Yeah.
that one of the chests in there, I looted some item that's like, oh, this is for the Trackers Alliance. I was like, okay, cool. I don't know what this is, but I guess I'm learning a few new things as I go. So it is kind of cool that like it's the same game that I remember and I know where I'm going, but there's like a bunch of new stuff, and that's what I've been craving in this game is new stuff.
Yeah,
So-
you're about to get a lot of new stuff come September
Lot of-
30th.
Yes.
I think we forgot to actually say the release date at the top of the show.
No, I said
No,
it.
actually,
you did say
Archon
it.
had
Okay,
it.
good.
Yeah, I did.
Archon
say
had it, yeah.
Yep,
He's on the game, man.
Yeah, we're gonna be getting a lot of stuff with that.
I hope so. I hope it is like a true full-blown expansion that is like basically the size of the game now.
Oh no, we won't get that big.
Okay, every other game I've played that's how big the expansions are, man. They're like it's like a whole second act to the game.
Well, it is a
Didn't you
second
say
act, but
Widget, didn't you say it was something like half the size of Skyrim? This update or the Shattered Space? Did you say something like that?
yeah, it's something like that. I forgot exactly the actual statistics, but Bethesda hasn't used the term expansion since the last one, the big one they did for Oblivion.
Oh, okay.
Everything's been called DLC after that. This is the first time they've used the term expansion, and that one last one they used it on was the biggest expansion they had made yet for any game.
Wow.
Yeah,
So,
I'm expecting
Just using that
lots.
terminology, yeah. Well, I know we get a new system, at least one new planet, and a new major city. That's all we really know.
Yeah. That's all we know at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, we get to find out about the Varun. That's what I'm looking for.
Yep.
What have you been
What
up
else
to?
did you do?
Yeah. Anything else?
Oh, was it Archon done?
Yeah, that's as far as I got. I got to New Atlantis. I've been following the main story quest.
I've learned his winding down moments when he's about done.
I got the vehicle, drove it around a little on Mars, and then went and went to the bar on Mars, and that's literally where I saved right before coming.
I want to bring this up now before I forget, but Rook is still a part of the show. He may not be recording with us live, but he had a really cool little idea to do a new segment for the show called Rook's Logs, where he is basically role-playing his character, talking about his logs of exploration, and I'm going to play that for you guys right now.
Rook's log. It's been one of those days. I was going through my data charts and realized that I missed fully surveying a couple of the systems. Looks like I'm going back to Procyon system and finish up that one. Hopefully, it's not too bad. Looks like I missed Procyon 6. What, the third moon around that planet? Yeah, that's the one that my records are showing. Well, I guess I'll head back that way, and I'll let y'all know what happens. Rook's Log Supplemental. I don't know why I said that. I was watching some old video from, like, we're talking about late 1900s old, called Star Trek. I didn't know they still had those kind of shows from that year. Anyhow, it is 7:21 a.m. UTC. This planet is cold. It's almost like a block of ice. It's negative 122 degrees Celsius with light gravity. I had to come back here because, obviously, I missed a trait on this planet, according to my records. So, here I am, back again. I'm not going to be enjoying this. But I did knock out finding the trait. It was a gravitational anomaly. Those things with the rocks just floating in the air. This one looks like it was an actual temple at one time and may have been destroyed by natural phenomenon. It's hard to tell. It's just a bunch of ruins. But I'm still curious about who made these. I've seen them on several different planets. Well, it's time to look up at the new ship. Not ship. It tells you how long my day's been. I gotta find out what next system I need to go to finish all my scans. That way, I'm up to date, up to where I'm at, minus the settled planets. And it's looking like... Oh, great. I gotta go back to R.A.W, where I built my first outpost. Alright, well, once I get there, I guess I'll hit y'all up. Well, that was a fun time. Found a derelict ship when I entered the system. It was around the first moon of R.A.W 3. It was called the Clement's Truth, or Clement's Truth, however you want to call it. It's, I'm guessing it was cultist. There was a guy that all of the notes were mentioning called the Star Child. All the slates were talking about how they were going to explore the galaxy as becoming one with the comet, something about the comet's tail. Apparently, I'm not drinking any of the juice that was on that ship because it was called the Orange Juice of Transcendence. I'm not too sure about that. It may have been good to them, but with the status everybody's in, I mean, there's bodies everywhere, so I don't know. I'm just not drinking that juice. So, like I said, I found this ship. I was just sitting there going through, trying to find out what everybody what's going on, and I found one slate that from this one body I found. It said that they chose not to drink from the juice, and they saw the souls leave the bodies and become one with the comet's tail. By the way, I keep forgetting to mention this, but the comment is Clement's comment. I don't know much about this comment, but that's weird because I then found another slate that stated that the person did some scientific experiments and concluded that the soul is made of the same materials as this tail of this comet. I don't know if I'm going crazy, but if that's the case, it made sense. Anyhow, I went through, looked around the ship. Everybody's gone. There's nobody left alive. But I did find a star child up by the cockpit. And yeah, he's just as crazy as most cultists you read about. It's sad though, because I found a slate where a guy tried convincing his family. However, I decided to leave the ship where it's at. I'm not going to move it. I'm not going to destroy it. I'm just going to make note of it, and I'll tell the authorities where they can find the bodies. That way people can have closure. But there's only there's only one system, one planet here. I just got to finish again. I don't know how I missed this, but I missed another trait. So I'm going to go find this trait and then go to the next system. Well, wish me luck. Well, that went well. This is what? Supplemental entry number 2 of the exact same log. Let's see. Air Donnie's done. I'm currently sitting in the Sirius system. Apparently, I missed this entire system minus one planet. How I did that, I don't know. Because I hit every system I thought I was hitting. Maybe as I just distracted by Sarah, I don't know. But oh my god, now Barrett's with me. This is so exhausting. He keeps wanting to give me food. You think he would understand. Anyhow, the first planet I gotta explore is hot. Whew, it's 509 degrees Celsius. Oh, thank God for a good soup because I'd be toasty. Let's see. Came across another derelict ship here called the Bright Star. There's been a few of them I'm coming across. I don't know why I'm finding so many all of a sudden. It's like everybody decided to go psycho at the same time. This one, though, looks like it was spying on the Freestar Collective according to the entries on the computers I found. They had a tough luck. They hit a solar storm. The solar storm wiped out their shields, and it heated up the ship pretty good. It's venting heat inside the ship. It was tough. I was starting to get heat exhaustion, and I have plenty of fluids, and I'm in a spacesuit. It was having a hard time keeping up. But I explored everything, cleared out everything, verified all the information. So the bank pawn, if I should tell the Freestar Collective that the ship is here. They deleted all the data they found. However, the notes here tell you exactly what they were doing. And they mentioned the mast, so obviously it's a UC ship. I don't know why the UC still thinks they need to spy on the Freestars. I hate politics. I served as a soldier long enough. I don't want to see another war in my time. Well, that was it for that derelict ship. I ended up going to Sirius 2A where I found a civilian outpost. Landed there. Oh, my luck. While running up there, I noticed they were being harassed by spacers. Well, me and Barrett worked well as a team together and neutralized the spacer threat. They had one casualty. However, I think they'll be okay. But I finished up that system without any issues. It was hot. There was a couple of cold planets, but they're mostly moons. The furthest I had to go from my ship was 4 kilometers. Hit the last point, and then I was good to go. I love exploring. Y'all don't know how much this takes away from my exhaustion from war. It's so peaceful. Yeah, I can fight if I need to, but I'm enjoying the peace of this exploration. On a good note, I was able to finish all the systems I missed. I went through and checked every system, every dot on the star charts, and found out they're all now marked as 100%. So I'm good to go there. Barrett's going to keep trying to feed me food. I gotta figure out what's going on with these Varun. They keep jumping me unsuccessfully. The last planet I went to, the Varun and the Freestar were going at it. Took them out pretty quickly. Man, you'd think they would learn their lessons trying to attack me. Well, hopefully nothing serious is happening. And that's all I got for now, so y'all have good. That's all I have going on now. I'm tired. I'm gonna go get some sleep. Rook out.
And that was his little experiences. You guys, I hope you enjoyed it. He was excited to do it, and if you guys enjoy it, he wants to continue doing this. So
I loved it. It sounded great.
Let us know what you think in the Discord, because I thought it was pretty cool. So
yeah, definitely.
All right, Kilo, what have you been up to, man?
All right, look, I was when I read the notes for the new update. The first thing I was planning on saying to Wigit before starting my playthrough was get your notebook ready. And I had fully intended on coming here and challenging Todd Howard to a fight, but I have calmed down in the last day. Listen, they took the glitching away, the flip glitching, and the variant glitching, they took it away, and I know I've heard it all. Believe me, over the last couple of days, I've heard it all. I understand, and I know exactly what Wigit would say to me if I took for his opinion on this. I know, but
I'm keeping my mouth shut.
Still, it was a major part of my experience with the game, and I was really, really bummed. But we're moving past it. For a couple of reasons, actually. It was actually one of my members in my Facebook group that brought to me that he found out that the snap glitch is still working. And basically what that is when you have, it's a little bit tricky, it's a little restrictive, and it's a big pain in the ass, but it's still possible. It's when you have, say you want to put a Docker on the front of a hab that's underneath like the Viking cockpit. That doesn't normally click. That's usually red. It won't let you do it. But if you put a forward-facing porthole on the front of that hab, and then you get the Docker as close as possible, and then take the window away, click on the Docker, green, and it just snaps right to the hab. So that is still in the game. That is still possible. So you can still build glitched ships. Like I said, it's a little bit tougher. Someone else brought up that this could be a precursor to them adding more versatility within the ship builder. I noticed that one of the things they fixed was the issue where after you edit your ship, when you lift off, your old edit stays on the ground as your new ship lifts off, like it's overlapped. And that's one I had experienced before. May or may not be related to that. I'm not going to speculate, but so
well, the fun thing though is now that you just outlined that glitch so nicely, if Bethesda does listen to this, they can fix it.
Oh, we've already proven they do. So, boom, shot right in the foot.
Now they're gonna fix it because you just detailed it so nicely for them, exactly how to do it.
They're gonna be like, "Oh, that's how it's done." Okay.
Todd Howard, flagpole, 3:00, me and you. No, I'm kidding. Todd Howard is an excessively nice guy based on what I've seen of him.
He is.
But there has been, the funny thing is that a lot of people, I'm not the only one, there are a lot of people, there's actually a petition that went out on Tuesday night, almost right after the update dropped, to ask Bethesda to bring that glitch back, those glitches back. Now, I know that's ridiculous now, but in the heat of the moment, in my emotional state, I did share it. I don't know if nothing's going to come of it. They're probably going to laugh at it over at Bethesda, which would be valid.
See, one positive of not playing for a while is that I never knew that glitch existed. So now I don't miss it.
Well,
I refuse the glitch.
I'm so happy for you, Archon. I was
about to come on because you were complaining about people being like the all high and mighty. I told you so. I was about to come on and just do that to you just for fun.
I knew it was coming. I was expecting it.
But
it's been a day in my Facebook group. But so whatever. I did build my first glitch ship ever. Like since I learned how to glitch, that I wasn't particularly thrilled with it, but I guess it turned out okay. So I
It looks
spent a little
pretty
bit of
good.
time doing that. It turned out pretty good. But after once I get done with that, I finally went and got my Rev-8 and I bought it on Neon
I did too.
and I didn't. I'm like, where am I going to drive this?
I was so
On the
tempted.
oil rig.
I had one of those really dark moments where I was tempted just to go right off that thing and see how far in the ocean I could go.
Dude, that'd be
I
amazing.
came this close to doing it. Like, I don't want to reload.
Yeah, no.
Worth it.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. I'll post a video in the Discord. Like I said, I got a video. I got a bunch of pictures. They're already up on my Instagram. Of the vehicle. It's a lot of fun to drive around. It's a real party. It's like going to your buddy's house and find out he has got a 4-wheeler in the backyard.
It makes me
Just
want
get
to
stupid
actually
with it.
explore for the first time ever because I don't have to hoof it.
Dude, it's so nice. It's so fast to get
To
from one
drive
place
around,
to the
yeah.
other.
Yeah.
You don't got to do like the the sprint jumping that I would do, or Superman dash if you're Wigit. But yeah. So anyways, I figured that out. I added a couple of mods. There's actually a really great one I'm gonna tell you about. This is my personal playthrough thing. This isn't actually meant to be a thing because I didn't write it down. But there's one called Nomad Spacesuits. And it's like a lot of the spacesuits in the game, but they're kind of like grayed out and faded. And then you have like this like weathered cloak and hood to go along with it. Looks really, really cool. I got that on me and Andreja right now. And speaking of Andreja, so I started
I need a bikini mod for Andreja.
You can get her a bikini.
Well, I don't want that
someone can
one.
get it at some
I
point.
want more stylish.
Okay.
Where are the thong
I'm not the one to talk to
bikinis?
about that,
Where are the thong
Exactly.
bikinis?
If
Boy
I
shorts.
see one, if I see it, I'll let you know. You know I will. You'll be the first person I tell. But so I started working on the Freestar quest line again because it's my favorite.
Right.
And all of a sudden, I noticed all of a sudden that Andreja was not with me. Dogmeat was with me, but Andreja was not. I went looking for her and I found her in the ship, and she was pissed. She was
Uh-oh.
angry, and I'm like, yeah. I'm like, what did I do? As I started talking to her, and I was like, I had the answer. Like, I honestly have no idea what you're talking about. And she's like, are you for real right now? You killed an innocent person. And I'm like, when?
She's literally Varun. Why does she have a problem with killing innocent people?
She always does.
Okay, that's fair, but that's a separate issue. I don't remember killing anybody. I have no idea what I literally, really,
long
for real, I have
time
no idea
ago,
what she was talking
I
about.
had that problem where I literally ticked off every single person in Constellation. And I have, still as they have no idea how or why it happened. They all hate me. Andreja left, like someone else left the Constellation altogether, and it was, no one would go with me anywhere. I had to reload because I have no idea what happened.
Well, I went through the persuade thing with her, and I was able to talk her down. But she still said, and here's the thing, is she still said, no one else said anything. I walked past Barrett, I walked past Sam on the way to find Andreja. No one said anything, but she was pissed. Okay, so I persuaded her down. I got her to cool, like, Andreja is no longer angry with you. Okay, cool. But then she said that as soon as we make port, she was leaving. So I took her on a mission board quest for the Freestar to get that first little bit done. And we landed there, and she followed me. She was still my companion. All the voice lines after that were normal. We went and cleared this place out. We were up on the roof of this abandoned what was it, relay station or something. And I take the first two guys out, and Andreja runs around the other side of this. It looks like an HVAC unit. On the other side of the HVAC unit, and I'm like, man, like, I mean, it was bothering me. So I'm like, I tried to talk to her again, and she starts having a conversation with me, and all of a sudden a bunch more pirates showed up, and I got stuck in the conversation. I couldn't pull out of the. It was just Andreja, me looking at Andreja behind this HVAC unit, and she's popping up and popping pirates behind me. I can't even see anything. I didn't end up having to reload it. Anyways,
a lot of fun with her.
Dude, it was a. So I ended up going to Neon, and when I landed on Neon, we landed. Okay, still my follower. I kind of wanted to say I think we should go separate ways just to like release her as a companion to see what she does, but I'm afraid to.
Yeah.
Because if I listen, if I lose Andreja, I'm going full pirate this playthrough.
I would do the same.
Full pirate. Dude,
I hate the world.
It is like, it was giving me such anxiety. I'm like, dude, I don't even remember killing anybody. What are you talking about?
I mean, there's always Sarah as the consolation prize.
Yeah, I guess so. So
It's like comparing a
anyways.
gold medal to a bronze. I mean,
Oh god.
I mean,
Wow.
it's still a medal.
it's still a medal.
I
Meddling,
guess so.
still meddling.
Yeah. That's third place out of 2, by the way. That's
I just said that to get a rise out of some of our listeners on Discord. It'd be hilarious.
Oh, we'll hear about it, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Second place is always
Anyway.
Barrett. Barrett's always.
But anyways, so I get to the end of that little quest, taking everything out, and I don't know what Wigit has done to me.
It rubs off.
But I went, dude, it's disgusting. Okay, I went
Yeah.
through
His
all
luck
these
is terrible.
bodies. I mean, there was like a good dozen and a half people in this facility that I had to take out this pirate captain. I found 2 Beowulfs out of the whole lot, all the lockers, all the boxes, 2 Beowulfs. One was a base model. They were both white. One was a base model, and the other one, this is amazing. It was a fully auto silenced Beowulf. Full auto. So yeah. So I still don't have the
To me, that would have been a good luck win. You haven't got to my bad luck levels yet, and I hope you never do. But
listen, after last week and now this week, the descent. Okay, we're on the downward spiral, right? Downward spiral. That's it. That was all I really had for my playthroughs.
Archon, it's been so bad. My luck has been so bad. I've been trying to find all this time a legendary hard target, my favorite weapon in the game, and I finally got one last week. But it had bashing on it, and that was it.
You want to hear a interesting? Well, I don't know if it's a hard target, but it's a legendary rifle of some sort. I got it today.
Well, you're not level 40 yet, are you?
No.
Yeah, you wouldn't get it.
It wouldn't be a hard target then.
Mm-mm.
Okay. I got a legendary rifle. I think it's like an Old Earth rifle.
Probably Old Earth hunting rifle or the lawgiver.
It's not the lawgiver. I think it's the Old Earth.
Yeah.
But it's...
There is one more thing I want to bring up about my playthrough because just because of what it is. I was trying to sneak. I knew what this week was going to be, so I was trying to sneak some of my mods into my playthrough stuff. There's a new one called Useful Mess Halls, and it basically makes the mess halls more useful. As you can imagine, you can get
really I would
the
never
biggest.
Guessed.
Huh.
Yeah, like it's not just like something that's like taking up space on your shit, like people going there and eating stuff. But the thing that caught my eye about it the most, I wanted to try. I've not tested it yet. Is that like the settlement beacon or the bell in Fallout 4? There's a PA system, and you can call your entire crew to the mess hall. And if you get everybody to the mess, yeah, and if you get everybody to the mess, like enough people, I guess, down to the mess hall, you get some bonus called camaraderie. I mean, I haven't tried that yet, but I wanted to mention it because it sounded really cool.
There was one mod I saw that I thought was kind of interesting. It adds like an ESO element to the game where you can find like those little shards on the planet, and if you find 3, it gives you a skill point or whatever.
See, that went into the cheating mode.
That's awesome.
That went too far, too close to cheating mods because there's a lot of those out there. So I avoided that. But I saw that one. The sky shards.
Yeah, I saw that one too. It looks cool. Yep.
I mean, you still got to find 3 of them on each planet or whatever.
Yeah, but you're getting skill points outside of your levels like normal.
Yeah.
True.
So I'm personally just avoiding it. I avoid anything I consider a cheat mod, which in my case could be not a cheat mod to other people, but
yeah. See, like I said, I've already done it all the legit way, so now it's just time to have.
Now you get to have fun. Just go for it. Yep. You gotta get prepared though. You gotta get prepared for Shattered Space.
I'm not going like full like God mode or anything, but I'm gonna have some fun. Do a few fun things.
I'm sitting there doing my current playthrough in preparation for Shattered Space. I've married Andreja. I got the ceremonial dagger, and it's only the second time I've actually done it. And it is such a special moment in the game. The way she talks to you and the story behind it, it means so much. It's actually really, really cool. It's why I like it more than Sarah's wedding, because how she presents it and how she talks about it and what it means to her, the dagger. So, for those of you who don't know, in Varun culture, and during this conversation with her for the wedding, you get to learn a lot about Varun. In many cases, not mentioned anywhere else. And she says that when a Varun child is, I think, like 10 or something like that, young age, they are given a groat, which is like the Varun version of a goat. And they have to care for it, milk it, take care of it. all growing up, and when they come of age, they have to slaughter it and then fashion a dagger from its skull.
Yeah.
And it goes about how teaching about how the Great Serpent has all these different plans, and it was a lot into it. But so that's the dagger that Andreja gives you, because they're supposed to carry it with them at all times. But when she's on this undercover mission, she had to hide it. So she gives that to you as that meaning, and when she tells the whole story behind it, it's really cool.
That's definitely part of the bigger appeal with Andreja, is the mythology behind that and everything. Just getting that little glimpse of the culture was really cool.
And they did such a good job of building her personality.
I might have to do Andreja this time, because I've married Sarah, but I've never married Andreja.
It's worth it. Seeing her background, her story, it's really cool.
Yeah.
And you get a really good insight on the Varun. Like one of the few times that the home city of the Varun is ever mentioned is during that talk with Andreja, Dazra.
That's gonna be that would be hilarious if you go through all that process and all that emotion and all that love for Andreja, and then the next universe you get is one of the special ones where Andreja takes over Constellation and you have to kill her.
You didn't hear about that. So right when I finished New Game Plus 9, I did this whole run for a while where I was just going to universes, getting all the powers, and going to the next. Trying to find a unique universe. Never found one. So when it was between 9 and 10, 10 was one I was going to stop, and I was going to play all the way through, do my first full 100% play through the entire game. So do everything, get the best ending possible. I reloaded the game. I think it was something like 20 or 30 times going through to get the new. And the first one I got was the Andreja one.
Where you had to kill your boo right at the beginning of the game.
I went in there and I just went, nope, reload.
Oh, no, you should have played it out and saw what happened. Like
I got enough, and I heard enough. The other one I got was where everyone was already killed, and the hunter's waiting for you in Constellation.
Wow.
So again, it was like, okay, nope. And I just gave up and started with a normal run. That was the only two I've ever seen.
There you go.
And the worst ones.
I still find it kind of crazy that, the hunter's there all the time, the whole time, and you just don't, like, on my first playthrough, I just didn't know it. But, you could go into the bar right at the beginning of the game, like, right when you get to New Atlantis, and he's standing right there, and we'll have a whole conversation with you.
I got a video. It's on my TikTok. It's on my Instagram. I was walking through New Atlantis towards the spaceport. I was passing the viewport, and the hunter jumped out of the bushes next to the bar. And then just walked up the stairs and then into the bar. Like right in front of me. He just jumped out of the bushes, walked up the stairs, walked into the bar. Like it was nothing.
I wonder if he does that the first time you come into town and I just didn't notice it.
Yeah, that was the only time I saw it. So maybe that's just, I don't know. I don't know why that would be the case. Why it would be presented like that. I thought it was really bizarre, but I got video proof.
Yeah.
I continued my quest through the Crimson Fleet. I actually got through almost all of it this last week, but when the Rev came out, I kind of sidetracked big time on it, and I'm 2 missions away from completing it. I went down to the lock, so your first initiation quest, and those gray lobas, those bugs that are there, they one-shot me. They came up and touched me, I was dead on extreme.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
I did that opening sequence 3 times before I found a way to funnel them in, because I can't go stealth sniper on that one. I have to go full guns blazing.
Yeah.
Went through that whole process, and I was very slowly going through the lock and finally finished it. The last boss killed me 4 or 5 times right off the bat. So I had to go reload that constantly, but I did get through it. And does anyone else think that Mathis is a total prick? Yeah. He's the other recruit with you?
Kind of. At the beginning, yes, but he grows on you.
I know, he never grew on me, so I kicked him out the airlock again. Not literally, but I love it when you betray him, as he says. And they kick him out of the Crimson Fleet. He's, I'm coming for you. And Andreja, what she says to him was hilarious. It's like, that's
what'd she say? Kind
of defeating the whole purpose of an ambush, right? You telling us like this? He starts stammering. Well, I'm just telling you. Speaking of Andreja, her commentary throughout the entire Crimson Fleet is fantastic. I went on to do the mission where you have to go on board the cruise liner and get the... steal the trophy and also get
Trident cruise lines or whatever.
Yeah, and get the key or the credentials for Gal Bank. When you first go in and you have to go do the gala, you talk to the guy that's helping you through it. And so he says, "Well, you got to attend this gala, and there's no dress code. Don't worry about it." But then Andreja cuts in right away. Alternatively, is shooting everyone an option, or shooting ourselves to avoid it? It's just like, yeah, that's it. That's right.
The one character that wears a dress in the whole game, sure.
She's not a social butterfly. Right up my alley. And I've said it many times on the show, but I really want the ability to build my own space station. I keep going to them thinking, I want to build one like this and this and this near this planet, or even like a large ship like that cruise ship.
Yeah.
Man, honestly, that cruise ship's not a very large one. But whatever. I had to go report to the UC Vigilance one time, so I went back and ported to it, and I couldn't find that ship anywhere. I reloaded twice, 3 times, went back, it wasn't there. So I hit my E, trying to figure out where it's at, and it finally popped up on my screen 50 kilometers away. I couldn't fast travel to it. I had to fly there. It took me 5 minutes to get to it. Yeah, it was annoying as all get out. But then I played with the Rev-8 and had a blast with that. And that was pretty much what I've been doing in Crimson Fleet. I'm 2 quests away from finishing it. Then I'm going to hit Free Star. And then I'm going to try to do the key side quests to see if that changes anything in the ending. But then I'm almost done with it.
What side are you going with?
Well, this is my good playthrough. So I'm going UC.
So UC.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
The next one where I'm going complete 100% evil to see the opposite, I'm totally going Crimson Fleet. That's going to be the first quest mission. The first mission I'm doing is Crimson Fleet.
Heck yeah.
And I'm going to do it by getting caught and arrested.
Cool.
Unlike this time where I did legit.
I heard there's a way to do it where they approach you without having to go through the UC, but I can't remember how it's done.
Well, that's when you get caught and arrested around New Atlantis.
No, there's another one where eventually, what's her name? Delgado's second, Neva or whatever her name is.
Yeah, I forgot to.
Apparently approaches you, like solicits you separate from all that.
Really?
So I don't know.
I have never heard of that.
Apparently. I don't know. Yeah.
And there was someone else that mentioned in our Discord, and we've talked about it on the show before, but having a DLC that continues off of Crimson Fleet would be really cool, but I'm not sure how they would be able to pull that off. Unless
we'll have her, like, because she gets away, so like
that's what I'm saying. Unless there's 2 different versions you can play from, depending on what you chose, and you can't do the second part of the DLC until you completed the Crimson Fleet. Then it would go off what your branch is.
I mean, it'll literally be the same format where either the UC calls you back because, oh my God, the Crimson Fleet is back, or Neva comes to you and says, hey.
It would actually be different because if you're a part of the Crimson Fleet, you're already established and they're gaining power. But this flip side, they're almost wiped out, and you only have Neva left, and she went off to go rebuild it somewhere. So that's a whole different beginning story arc right there.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
That'll make a big difference.
Be cool, though.
Yeah.
That's definitely one I want more of. Yeah.
I think that's one they're going to do. I'm convinced we're going to have a Starborn DLC, all about Starborn, and I'm thinking it's going to be completely linear. So we're going to have Shattered Space, which is going to be branching off of the main story right now, but then I think the next one's going to be branching off of that and continuing down that path. We know we're getting 4 story DLCs at least. So I'm really curious. I think the last one might be Starborn. I'm hoping the next one's going to be the Crimson Fleet, and I don't know any idea what the third one would be.
Yeah.
Something Varunish.
Maybe about another war route break between UC and Freestar.
Or maybe you go from Varun to Starborn to Aegis. I'd like to see that too.
Or a whole new faction altogether.
Yeah.
Have they said yet, or is there any speculation on whether or not there'll be like some new alternate universes that get added to Shattered Space?
I have not heard anything about it.
Oh, you know what? Yeah.
So there was a video that came out that was one of our Ann posted it in our Discord, but be pre-warned. I turned it off after like 5 minutes because it gets way too spoilery for me. Because it starts talking about the story elements that are speculation right now. But he got to go in and play the 15-minute demo of Shattered Space. So he didn't have any extra video or anything like that, but he got to talk about it a little bit within his NDA, which means very limited. But there's a couple things. He said that the map, the planet you go on, it was very clearly built for ground vehicles. Like, there's actual roads and paths that would fit your ground vehicles all over. It looked like it was designed for that.
Oh, okay.
And there's a lot of different things. Like I said, there's a new gun. It looks like it's another heavy gun that shoots blue lasers, but we saw that in the trailer for it.
In the original trailer, yeah.
So it wasn't really anything new, but the story elements he was talking about were way too spoiler for me, so I had to duck out of it.
No, that's fair enough. I'd rather experience it on my own.
Yeah.
Right.
I wanted the whole experience for myself. That brief 5 minutes that I saw was too much.
Gotcha.
So there was another little DLC that came out called Escape, and I'm calling it mini DLC, not a mod, because it is a story in itself.
Right.
And I bought it to check it out because some people in Discord were talking about it yesterday, and I didn't even realize it was out. I had no idea until they were talking about it. And so I looked it up. I was like, okay, this looks interesting. one of our listeners was saying the rewards were just a skin and it was quick and you got through it quick, and I wanted to give it a go. I had to give it a fair go for the show. And what it is it's like a psychological escape room. So
Here's a great description.
Yeah, that's the best I can
sell
put
me
it.
anything. That's a great description.
I love escape rooms in real life. They're one of my favorite things to do. And
like
doing it in the game, fantastic. Yeah. The story behind it, fantastic. And the thing about it is that there are multiple endings to it. You can get through the first playthrough in about an hour, sure, but it's not going to be the ending you're going to like. Unless you're really crazy and psycho, then you might like it. I didn't like it. I had to do some things I didn't want to do. And it does get very challenging. It's like an escape room. You can actually get a clue from the runner but you'll lose points if you get a clue. I never had to do a clue, thankfully, but I think I spent 30, 40 minutes in one room trying to figure it out. That was right in my face, and it was obvious. Oh, wow. But after I did the first one, I did the second one because I knew there had to be a better way to do this. And as I was going through it, I started noticing a lot more stuff, a lot of hidden things throughout the entire rooms. And it started clicking in place, and I started seeing another story that wasn't a part of the main story you're running. It was like in the background of it. And you had to find certain things to get this story. And on my third attempt through it, I was talking to Archon last night, getting frustrated trying to figure this out. I finally got the real ending, which makes it a lot bigger than what you think. If you've just gone to the end where you get the reward, you're doing it wrong. And it took me about 3.5 hours to find that and get through it. And it was worth it. The rewards are great. Yeah.
That's way more than the Vulture had to offer, right? So that's pretty good.
I got to the Vulture in like 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah, it's a quick one.
But like the end of that, you get some really cool rewards. I'm not going to talk about them. Not going to tell you guys what it is. I'm not going to give you any hints about it, except for look for the numbered clues. That's it.
Good enough.
And there was one of them I could not find and still have not found it, but I got to the end of it, and it's definitely worth it. I give it a 9 out of 10.
That's pretty good.
Definitely worth the money you pay for it.
Was it 500 credits?
Like
$5 or something?
I think it was 600. Yeah.
Something like that. Still not a whole lot for 3.5, 4 hours of content.
Yeah, that you get to play over and over again, and I'm convinced the 3 endings I saw are not the only 3 there is.
Heck yeah.
Because I see different paths that can happen in it, and you have to really look.
Very cool.
So
I heard him getting frustrated at it last night.
Yeah. I was getting near the end, and I knew it. I found all these different things. I could not figure it out. And it was one simple thing I had to do that was a very vague clue. I'm not going to tell what it is or anything like that, but it was not something I was even thinking about doing until I reread the clue and took it quite literal. And once I did that, I found the piece I needed to get through the end of it. It was nice. It was tricky.
That's awesome. I love it.
So we've talked about Rev-8, and we can't wait for the new vehicles to come out as well. We talked about Shattered Space coming. They didn't give us any particular details about Shattered Space yet, just the release date. So what about the mod you're going to talk about tonight?
Yeah, I got one I want to run through. I do have a couple more I want to mention, honorable mentions that relate to the update, but the one I really want to talk to, this one goes out to Rook. It's called Roleplay. It's called Roleplay Backgrounds by Broken Classic 2. I don't know what happened to Broken Classic 1, but what it is,
he broke.
What it is, yeah. It adds a bunch of new backgrounds to the character creator, and it also offers these new and altered backgrounds may contain perks from higher tiers within their respective perk trees. It adds a lot of like mechanical stuff, but here the backgrounds are what caught me up. Of course, the first one is the one that really got my attention. Aegis Field Agent.
Okay.
Varun Practitioner. Mars Native. Demos Graduate. I don't know if that's a West Point type thing. War Veteran. Ex-Ecliptic. Space Trader. So it's definitely opening up the RP element of the game a lot more.
They didn't have Space Stealth Assassin, so I can't do it.
Well,
Ninja Stealth Assassin.
Ninja Stealth Assassin. No Ninja Stealth Assassin. I am afraid, however. They also altered the vanilla backgrounds a little bit, mostly swapping out the bonuses that you get, the bonus skills. Like there was one I wanted to bring up specifically. Like for Cyberneticist, instead of security as one of your skills, you get robotics instead. Stuff like that. And it's a little updated description, and then kind of a little bit of tweaking. But it doesn't change a lot, but it does add a lot. So I thought that was really cool. And then there's a couple more that I wanted to bring up just because of where we're at. Give you some reference for what we were talking about earlier, Shade's vehicle tuner is the one that you can boost weapon damage and speed and cargo and things like that. That's kind of a little bit of an all-in-one for that one. The Baka Rev-8 hauler, that's the one that has additional, you can add cargo and things like that. And then, this one I wanted to bring up just because I thought it was really cool. It's called Delivery Services by Hawcraft. And if you ever had an incident where you're at an outpost or something like that in your building and you're like short one resource,
Oh, I read this one.
Yes, it's basically Uber Eats for whatever you want to like order and have delivered to your ship.
Huh.
There's also one I saw that was interesting I was going to look at, but you can specifically order, is when you're doing your outposts and you have the link going on between your different outposts, the delivering they have one where you can actually select which resources you want delivered to which outpost instead of it just going all with all of them. I don't remember the name of it.
Oh, give me that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I really had. I just want to run through those real quick. The Vault by Spekic, another one by Spekic, is like a really cool player home. You should check out. It's really awesome. It looks awesome. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I got this week.
SciTech mentioned in our Discord recently that he personally thinks that the Rev-8 is awesome, and he suspects that we'll see more vehicle options as paid content from Bethesda. I didn't even think about that, but that's probably a real possibility.
Right. I mean, but how's that going to affect the mods that already exist? Well, in the Nexus, they're not.
Well, like adding new different types of vehicles that would be paid content.
Yeah, they could definitely make money on a mech mod or a mech content.
Well, I think the mech is going to have to be something story related, though. I mean, that's going to come with one of our big ones.
Yeah, no, you're probably right because right now they're illegal. So even having a mech is illegal.
Now, something like the dirt bike, that's something I could see as being a paid mod.
Now we're talking. Yeah.
And I would snap that up.
Yeah, me too.
Heck yeah, dude. That'd be amazing.
Me too. I want a dirt bike.
So that is our episode.
Because I haven't mentioned in a couple episodes, this is rare for me because I'm a little bit of a prostitute when it comes to this stuff. But my Facebook group is Starfield Shipyards. No mods, no salt, still no mods. Come on over. We got a great little community over there. And the show has a great little community as well.
Big time in our Discord. Really quick, though, if you guys could rate us on Spotify and iTunes, those ratings are very, very helpful. Unless it's a 1-star, then don't bother.
Right. 5 stars.
Give us 5 stars.
Like the show.
The 5-star reviews,
like the show, 5 stars.
The 5-star reviews go a very long way for us. It's a great way to help support the show. We really appreciate it. If you want to come and join the place to be, our Discord. If you don't know what Discord is, Google it. It's basically an online chat room that you can do some voice chat if you want or not. Discord.gg/Raw Podcasts. That's plural.
That's the one.
R.A.W. PODCASTS. If you want to email us about requests for the show, if you want to advertise with the show, starfieldраw@gmail.com. Our Facebook is Raw Podcast, which is our over-encompassing. And our Instagram,
Raw Podcast 1.
You forgot to turn.
Did you get it the second time?
Yeah.
That was brilliant.
You can follow us on Twitter at Starfield Raw. You can follow us individually as well. I am at The Wigit, THEWIGIT, everywhere. And if you can't find me on a certain platform, just search The Widget. And you can use that to also find my book.
And you can find me at the Archon 606 on all social media, or if you're looking on gaming platforms, it's quick QWICK_D_606.
Here, let me push this little button here on my computer. You can find me at Kilo Tango 1122 everywhere.
Thank you so much for listening, everybody, and I hope you have a fantastic week out there.
Have a great week, guys.
I went to a lecture last week on Halley's Comet. Went right over my head.